Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gears Esports, and tonight we are getting ready to set off a heavyweight championship bout if I've ever seen one. Fighting out of the red corner at 6-0 will be the only undefeated team left in Pro League. That is going to be Rise. They will be going up against the team fighting out of the gold corner at 4-2. A record with only losses to Noble and Rebel is the Pioneers. And Jacob, this one is set up to be grand and glorious.
Yeah, at one point or another, this was a finals matchup that went down to the wire. But since then, man, Pioneers have not been looking their strongest, and Rise has not skipped a beat. Like you said, 6-0. So coming into this day, Colin, it is so hard to predict a style of matchup like this, especially after two great matchups before this. Three, if you count that side station matchup that we were blessed to watch.
Well, let's take a look at these rosters. First and foremost, the Pioneers, who are made up of Hndles, Acells, Xysho, and Precision. They have had their struggles in recent weeks, but just last night, picking up a pretty decisive victory. And we're starting to turn the corner. A little bit more team fire, a little bit more synergy in their situation. Can they hold on to that same kind of chemical formula and come out with another big victory tonight? This is going to be getting to be an interesting one. I love this squad to death. I love supporting them. Everybody knows that I always talk about how handsome Hndles is, how great of a shotgun player Acells is, how grand in the CQC Precision has always been. And of course, Xysho has stats that most can only dream of. They are, without a doubt, the moniker on their shirt. They are the workhorses of this Pro League. And Jacob, I took the head and the handle on that Pioneers team, so I'm going to let you take it away with this Rise squad.
You know, this undefeated monster of a roster. Rushiez, Avexys, Ices, and Detox. I've named him last on purpose because this team has not looked back since Detox has joined this roster. We've talked about it game after game, match after match. Detox, his double-edged sword playstyle, jack of all trades, has alleviated the pressure tenfold. And it allows Rushiez to get a little bit more loose. It allows Icy to play a little bit more how he wants to play. And it allows Avexys, honestly, to do exactly anything that he wants to. If he wants to be the IGL and sit in a host spot, he can be the IGL and sit in a host spot. If he wants to pick up every power weapon on the map and begin to give out free haircuts, he's going to take out every single person on the map. And that's something that cannot be said enough. When you have a player like Detox that can do anything, that can be a flex, that can be a slayer, that can be a support, that means anybody in the game on your team could have, a little bit of a lackluster performance, and he will step up. Rise right now, this season is looking like the team to beat. And with just a few short matches left in the regular season, this is a premier matchup to really show what they've been working on.
Well, if you really want to know the tale of the tape between these two teams, you've got to know their history. You've got to look at the past, and we will do just that now. It'll be last year's head-to-head matchup while the Pioneers were still under the banner of Vanquish. Vanquish never losing to Rise in Pro League and owning a series head-to-head lead of 14-3 and a 41-19 map count. The last thing we have to take note of, though, is that Rise won the last series between these two in the Swiss group of the 2021 Summer Major. Everybody remembers that because it costed Vanquish a differentiating spot in that winner's bracket. They started off with that loss, but they still come away with a major victory at the end of the day, and that was over Fire and Ice. Both of those teams now under different monikers, one under the Pioneers, one under Noble. That is their past. Now, Jacob, if you don't mind, as one of the best analysts in Gears history, can you take us through their presence?
And I have to go ahead and look. Right now, it's all about what have you done for me lately. All those 14, 41, whatever map wins Pioneers has over Rise means nothing when currently they sit 6-0, 18-8, a 8-3 control record, a 7-2 execution record, and Escalation 3-3. Even though that's not a comparison to a 6-0 that the Pioneers have, everybody knows that's not where Rise wins their series at. They come through on control and they come through on execution. So those are the big stat lines that I'm going to be looking at here in this series. So it's going to be surprising to say this after all those victories Pioneers have. I think this one leans in favor of Rise as it currently stands.
Right now, you say leaning in favor of Rise as it currently stands, and we see all the maps. We've seen how these two teams have gone head-to-head. Well, tonight, they're going to write a new chapter. And the best way to start a story is to find out your location. Let's take a look at the picks and bans for this big-time matchup. We're going to start off on District with Control, moving to Checkout for Execution, Vasgar for your Escalation, and finish it up with the two new maps in the cycle, Ritual and Aphira. Jacob, give me your thoughts on this.
I mean, besides a maybe District, this has aggression written all over it. Maybe some moments in Control as well. Check out, we know it's one of the most aggressive maps in the game. Vasgar, one of the most aggressive escalation maps. And Aphira, with the way most teams have been playing it, very, very similar. If a team can catch fire, they can gain some momentum on District that can carry on over into Checkout. But you have to be very, very weary of that all-out push. As I say, it just lacks strategy. It's all about hitting your shots when it matters most. So looking at to this one, it's hard to really put my feather into one hat, my egg into any of these baskets so far, because, man, just looking at it, it's just about who takes fire at the right moment. Honestly.
Let me hit you with some quick stats about these maps real quick, Jacob, and see if it gives you cause to pause or lean toward any particular team. District right now, Rise undefeated. The Pioneers 1-1. If we go to Checkout, you're both looking at teams that are undefeated. Rise is 2-0, the Pioneers 4-0. On Vasgar, though, Rise, they've taken 3 heavy losses on Escalation, but like you said, that's not been their path to victory. The rest of those 2 maps, though, pretty much split down the middle. 2-1 for Rise on Ritual, and of course, the Pioneers only 0-1, only having played it once. And then if we go to that map 5, that vaunted Aphira, the teams have the same record, 1-1. So the initial part of this series to me spells doom and gloom for one of these 2 contenders. But for right now, let's spell out our predictions. I made you go first in the first matchup so that I could set it up to make you go first in the third matchup. Where are you going?
I mean, I feel like I gave away my prediction already. I know you kind of know we have those chats. I feel like I gave away my prediction for our first, kind of opening moment. I'm going to bring Mr. Ice back into the game because Icy has what it takes. I would not wear the ice if I didn't believe the Iceman would take it. Let's keep it short. Let's keep it simple. Icy deserves one of these from Rise, just like Ozuna gave me this one. Rise is going to take this one, but I will say it is going to be a close series. No matter if this is a 3-0, it's going to be close all 3 of those maps, or a 3-2-5 map series. It's going to be close, all of these maps. And honestly, me and Icy over here, we got Rise.
I can't wait to say this. Sometimes you pick a team because you want to see them win. Other times you pick a team because you think they're going to win. And other times you have to pick against a team to show them some tough love.
Ooh.
I love the Pioneers. I love those 4 guys. No doubt about it. I don't keep any secrets from them. Taylor even called me out last night when it came to the Pioneers and E-United. I did go Pioneers in that matchup. He snitched on me, but that's fine. I own that. I'm a grown man. I picked the Pioneers in that matchup against the United, and that was the start of their struggles. That was where I started to see the flashes of things that don't win you matchups, that don't win you championships. I said last night on broadcast, I want to see them get back to the promised land and make right all the mistakes they have of the past. I don't think they do it here tonight. I think Rise is playing better. I think Rise will come away with this victory. And if they don't, I'm so ready for the Twitter fingers out of the Pioneers because Rise has been talking a whole lot of that smack lately.
And they keep perfection alive, though. We both going Rise. I got to wonder, where do you think chat is leaning? I didn't see it too much.
Rise. I've seen so many Rise emotes over here.
Rise, which is honestly surprising. You got your defending champions, a team to kind of start the season. We were kind of unfairly putting the pressure of a dynasty being built, but man, this is a big turnaround.
But I go back to my entire soliloquy. Rise has done the correct things. They've waited for respawns. They've pushed as a unit. They've used initial damage to get easier kills for their slayers. The Pioneers have played a lot of hero ball. They've played a lot of individualistic styles, and it's what's gotten them those 2 losses thus far in the Pro League. If they want to come into this matchup against Rise and get a win, I would be more than happy for them to prove me wrong. It's not going to break my heart to miss another prediction. I guarantee you that. If they want to come out here and beat Rise, go right ahead. And then if you want to give them Twitter fingers, go right ahead. Rise, you want to stay perfect, you want to be 7-0, and you want to say, world champs who? Go right ahead. It's not going to hurt you, boy. You've got to do it first. You've got to go against one of the best teams on the planet, and you got to start here on a map that you're both undefeated on. One of them will break the egg in the loss column and come away with District with their first L. Who will it be? The Pioneers or Rise? We're going into map 1 just momentarily, and as they all roll out of spawn, I'm going to be very interested to see not only who wins the initial, but who begins those early rotations to get those early advantages.
I like it. I like it. Early advantages are huge between both of these teams because how aggressive they can be. And they're sending 3 players towards the top half of the map. There's not even a weapon over there. They're kind of settling it between Icy and Xysho, keeping their opponents off of that drop shot. Early positioning goes over to the Pioneers, and so does First Blood. But it doesn't take long for Detox to try and even it up, but he loses his life almost immediately, which leads to the demise of Avexys. And this is where they're going to swarm. They know they want to get that drop shot next. It's going to be in the hands of Xysho. No down coming through from Icy. So after the dust has settled, it looks like the Pioneers are off to a great start.
Pioneers early advantage here, 20 points already into the first hill, and they will sit back and relax as they allow Rise to rotate around the map and try to figure out where they're going to go for this next hill. It looks like the Pioneers have set one player down low. It's going to be Xysho. Xysho, his job is to either sneak up onto Detox or keep this side of the map in their favor so that they can try to set up for P2. A down in the middle already for the Pioneers. Might lead to some more kills, but a 2v1 on the right side. And now another big kill there on that light post. Nets the Pioneers every single point they won out of the first hill and an early rotation toward the spawn of P2. Can Rise stop them from getting into the neutralization position? Detox back toward the spawn. Big Lancer fire from the side. Will get that first down. Detox goes for the wrap on a Hndles. Can't connect the shot. Another big kill comes through. Pioneers, they have really circled the wagons early in this one, and they are keeping the pressure on to Rise.
Yep. You can kind of aim that shock grenade to try to funnel those players off the hill, but they want to wait, gain themselves a bigger advantage before they use it. As Detox goes for a flank, and maybe should have second guessed it as Xysho takes him out. This is that teeter-totter. This is a must-defend hill for Rise unless they want to kind of build up the scoreline on the side of the Pioneers and have some coming back to do. One down's going to come through. Eliminations being cleaned up on both sides, though. It's going to be Icy who gets shut down when he's left all by himself. Now the hills are going to flip. Rise now has to go ahead and battle from the top down, trying to gain this positioning back, and it's going to be Rushiez who for now neutralized this hill. Flash grenade going in. Nobody able to capitalize on it just yet. A smoke to try to create some sort of distraction. That's going to allow Precision to sneak on over to the other side of the map, and even though there's 40 seconds left on it, he's just toying around, playing for next while still trying to maintain some center ground at the old hill.
Now you see in the middle of the map, it looks like the Pioneers are continuing to keep the pressure on that hill, whether it be neutralized or they are gaining points. They are going to be able to at least see that this hill is stacked out, but it looks like everybody's backed out of the hill. I believe we might have had a disconnect onto Precision. He's out in the open there in the middle. He's going to come toward the middle of the map and very slowly. I think we're just going to have to wait for a ref's ruling here. I'm not sure what's going on. Precision was the first player to kind of stop.
Maybe like a lag out or something. Yeah, because Precision, like you said, was the one. He had a flank as well. Maybe not. Controller died. Acells, Hndles. Has to be Acells then. Xysho was nope. Both of those arrows moved. Number 5 hasn't moved. Detox high. All right, so Colin, let me ask you a question. Honest opinion here.
Go ahead.
How do you like the drip?
I don't know what that means.
The drip.
I'm old.
The weight on my neck. My 500K chain.
It's glorious.
1,000K.
It's so nice, but as an old white dude, I thought you were talking about a faucet. I said, dude, you got to go on in there and find out if there's a clog or a leak, man. What are you talking about? You got to get a monkey wrench in there and loosen up some of the nuts and bolts. Try to see if you got a loose seal. You might have a leaky seal or a bad seal, man. If you got some drip, you got to make sure that you haven't lost a washer somewhere, or it's not just rotted out. I mean, those things can go bad after a few years. So if you ever got a question about your drip, man, I'm your guy. I can help you out, but did not know you were talking about jewelry. Did not know you.
That's why I asked. I knew you're the man to ask about the drip.
You see the golf book? You see the golf book? You see the golf book? Woo! Right there in front of you, golf book. You see the swing?
Yeah, now, yeah.
Silhouette?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, there's a nice little like Easter egg reference of the name of the juice bar. You see where it says all that juice up on the top?
Yeah.
That's exactly what Coltrane says when in Gears 1 they enter into the Locust tunnels and they find where it's just all that emulsion below the old emulsion refinery factory. As soon as they get into the wide open spaces and see all the emulsion, Coltrane goes, "Look at all that juice." Just a nice little. So it'll be. All right, ladies and gentlemen, to give you a little heads up, we're restarting the round, but the points will not reset. We are starting from 68 to 4, so that means
232, 196. That's the scoreline on each of these teams.
There you go. You mean, you said 232, don't you mean 290, 296?
Yeah, 232 for one team, 296 for the other.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate the quick mass on your behalf, but was that a team kill? No, it wasn't. He just slid in and got that other kill. All right, back and forth we go, and once again, the Pioneers with another advantage, so already off to the races in their bid for 232 points.
Down. Detox getting staggered out. Another big early lead, and honestly, they won it the first time around. Hndles taking out Avexys towards the low side. 38 seconds left up for grabs, already massively in the lead. You gotta remember, it's 68 plus whatever they're accumulating here, so already over the 100+ point mark for the Pioneers to just 4 on the side of Rise as they're trying to push in, trying to get some footing. Both of these players get popped over the top. Icy and Rushiez gets dropped, and they're also simultaneously fighting for next. Hndles wins that one and gets first to claim this hill. Reinforcements are also on the way, so not only do they get the majority of the first hill again, they're going to have the position for the second hill as well. So it's about 110 plus points and counting.
See what they go with here. Avexys is going to try to push into Hndles. Hndles rolling away from them. Drop shot over the top will get a kill there onto Icy. 2 players left alive for Rise in this situation. They're going to try to use these back aids to the best of their ability. Shots from the juice trying to make life harder, but the shot grenade was picture perfect. Gets those downs. Xysho finishes off both of them, and already back up off the races they go. Rise continuing to struggle here in map number 1 as the Pioneers, they're going to solidify at least a 60-point lead in this situation.
130, 120. Rise just has literally nothing going for them right now. They're not able to break through. They're not able to hold their ground. Shock grenade is hopefully going to be something coming through from Icy as Acells just hiding in the corner. He becomes a target, but that's just a distraction. Look at the rest of the team. Precision lancing from one angle. Detox gets taken out from Hndles. It's all Pioneers all the way up until this moment where Precision is trying to save this. He's trying to keep it underneath their hands, but even though this is going to be the case, you see the scoreline inbounds. It's plus 68 for whatever the Pioneers have, plus 4 for whatever Rise has. So even though Rise did finally win this hill, it's almost for nothing. So now the Pioneers are going to be able to turn, try to get elsewhere onto the next hill, but they lose the drop shot. They lose a couple players, so this could be the moment that Rise needs.
Rise is going to have to get a good rotation into that next position. They're going to have to be able to slow down Acells right here. Good double bounce out of Acells and a kill. That's another 20 points for them if they want to get up over 100 and be at 168 to 14. What you're going to see here, though, is they're going to roll off of that hill. They're not going to take advantage of every single one of those points and bleed it dry. Rise is rotated over, going for the standard setup as you roll the player back into the spawn. This time, can Rise stop them from overtaking yet again? Good shots in from Icy, getting that first down into Precision. Detox tries to roll out to help the 2v1 on the Hndles. They will finish him off, coming in from the front door now. 2 players stuck outside of the info, 1 stuck at the stairwell. And we'll see what can happen here because we know that we know that Pioneers are going to wait for all 4 players to be up before they try a secondary retake. 1 player inside of the hill. That'll be Detox holding down that back ledge, that back corner. He's going to get tagged up from the bottom, though. He was full red and then down. They have to rotate in for the res, and Icy tries to push up to try to help out, but he gets it down. Here comes the flashes, the kills, and the quick revive here momentarily. 3 players of Rise still alive just around the hill, but 2 more down and dead for the Pioneers, and this is a good little hold for the side of Rise.
And this is where Pioneers, they have the choice right here. You go ahead and go in, try to make another play, which it looks like it is going to do, because that allows them to have that cushion as well if things go wrong. Try to collect a weapon, set up for the next hill as they're going to try to keep this one neutralized. Nobody from Rise has the position, pop some shots over the top, but the person that has the shot is going to be Acells. He's not letting these players of Rise sit comfortably. Somebody has to go down south and deal with him. That player is going to be Avexys, who's now actually going for that flank. They could push out in a 4v3 advantage. Hndles goes down first. This is what they need. Quickly revive back up though. A big shot, but it doesn't get the kill. Avexys falls. Trades continue. Acells getting taken out. He was that flank player I was talking about. Oh, or at least the majority of this time going over to Rise, but Xysho yet again, he gets that drop shot. Not only this series, but this entirety of this split and even some of last has been Xysho controlling that weapon.
Now you see Xysho holding down this bottom angle, angling out, getting that second kill. Rise with only 2 players alive will have to wait for the respawns to come out, but there's going to be about 14 seconds or so before it comes through. Xysho sitting at 5-3-3 with 7.2 thousand damage for his team already. That's really allowing the rest of his Slayers to get those easy kills we talked about in the pregame. I was curious to see if they could keep that up, if they could keep that kind of pressure and momentum going for their squad and execute properly. Avexys is going to go down here. Rushiez is going to try to rush into the face of Xysho, but he's going to get killed off from behind at that juice from Hndles. A lot of extra damage coming into him. Now with a respawn from Rise, Hndles might get caught here between a rock and a hard place, and he is indeed. He's going to go down. Icy, he's still alive, but Xysho still with the drop shot in hand, and that's ever lurking, ever dangerous, especially now that he has the shock as well. He could shut down 2 retake lanes here if he's lucky enough, but he actually goes down! He goes down! You gave up both of those power weapons!
And Rushiez just putting him on skates, staying alive. Gets the help from Avexys as well. Rushiez, or I should say Icy down low with Detox win that exchange. So they're gaining the points, and they're gaining some sort of a comeback potential to come through. Once they get the points that they want on this hill, they will within reach for this singular game, but they still have those points from last to overcome here. And I like what they're doing. They're making an attempt on the hill before the hill rotation comes in. So even if they lose it like they are now, they're going to have another opportunity to try to attack it, but it comes down to this. As Icy does get shut down, that's where things are going to become hurtful for them. They're going to spawn outward even farther away from the hill as they give up the remaining points to the Pioneers.
Avexys will try to go for a little wiggle waggle, but he's going to be getting lancered out as Hndles gets that final shot in the down and kill on. 3v4 yet again. Rise still struggling in this map number 1 to really gain a foothold anywhere. Acells is going to get lancered up from multiple angles. Hndles quickly in for a possible revive. Acells red down again, but 2 players on top of him for more revives here. All 4 players for the Pioneers still alive. Acells with a drop shot in hand, and this is going to be an interesting retake possession for Rise because Acells with that drop shot, he's going to be able to shut this down. There's 2 players just outside of that door. He's going to try to drop into the cubby. He's going to get a kill on a teammate, but as well as Rushiez. 3 players left alive inside of the hill for Rise, but Xysho picks up the meat shield quickly on Icy and then rotates out just in time to keep his life and keep his limb. This will be a 2v2 here, but I mean, holding that right hand and just hitting full spreads on 2 different players. Xysho is well within control of this hill, this position, and the Pioneers are putting an absolute hurting on Rise in this map number 1. They are down to just needing probably about 60 or 70
32
points.
Yep, about 70 points now. Less than 70 at this stage in the game. It's about 232 is what they need to reach the 296. So a big comeback is needed on the side of Rise if they're looking to take this game number 1. It is their map pick as well, so they need to really take it. The cross comes through from Rise, though. They're going to deny the opportunity, but the shots, the close proximity. Avexys doesn't even know danger is coming. Precision, the rest of the squad are all putting that pressure on, but they get flanked as well. That's why they're going to disperse like cockroaches with the lights on to try to prolong and live to fight another day, as all 4 members of Rise are now returning the heat. Fire is there. Down, Rushiez gets revived back into the mix, but they double down to go through. A kill finally going away as Icy gets one. A down on a Precision, but it's flanked from Hndles. Could be a distraction enough for somebody to try to make a play, but it is not, as everybody is getting denied. Pushed away from the hill. Detox 1v1 towards the drop shot. He's going to fall. So a man advantage for a few seconds going over to the Pioneers, along with what looks like the drop shot.
They're trying to stay there and try to be able to get a chance to quick pick it, and they are going to get it into the hands of Hndles. Now they're going to push up into the info, but it doesn't even look like they need it. Pioneers again, just with a quick set of slays onto the hill, and there's enough time on that hill to really make this, I mean, just almost impossible to come back. 30 points left will get them to that 210 marker or so if they stay there the entire time and bleed it dry. They're going to hang out for as long as possible. Precision with yet another kill. Rushiez will be just outside of the hill. Somebody will be able to angle him out, maybe throw that drop at him. He's going to try to go for a double bounce and a shot, but I mean, it's not going to be enough in this situation. They get the down, but the quick revive from Precision is there. Momentarily Rise, they're going to have to start rotating toward the cinema. Acells already in the back of the cinema. He's going to be waiting for anybody from Rise to try to rotate up through the pergola. What we see from Acells is he's going to call out where they're coming from, lancer them out. There's a down in the backside, which is going to slow up Rise's retake ability. They're going to send everybody in here, and it looks like Xysho and Acells are going to try to take this as a 2-man army, but the quick kills come through, and finally, that will be a down and a kill for the side of Rise, and they will take over the hill.
All they need is 25 points, though, on the side of the Pioneers. Meanwhile, about 150 points for the side of Rise, so a massive game still left if Rise is trying to come back here, but they need to begin to focus here. Flank coming through, 1v1 between Xysho and Avexys. Or Xysho, he can play a little distraction here as he backs up into the juice. He knows he wants to get that extra Lancer angle to pop over the top, and he got him watching his back all simultaneously, keeping his head on the swivel. Lands a good shot onto Avexys. Looks like he's not going to try to press the fight, but instead waste the time of Avexys, trusting in his team to win towards the south portion of the map, as it does look like he's going to come out on top, get that one, and this is where his team is going to pull out because they know that extra help is coming, and it is on the way. With only a few points left, this could be the key here. Xysho going for a flank, with him going ahead and attacking Detox. That creates separation for the rest of the teammates. That was the key that they needed. Detox tries to return, but he gets taken out. 20 seconds left on this hill, and it could be just shy of the win marker.
It'll be 1 or 2 seconds shy of that win marker. Now it seems like Rise is trying to rotate over. Hndles is the key right here. Hndles is going to be able to locate anybody coming down to the bottom side of that map and lancer them out from the juice. And then he's going to be able to disrupt the retake from the spawn side of the map. And with that kill and with the hill spawning in 7 to 8 seconds, I mean, this might be all she said and done for this map, especially with Xysho still holding on to that drop shot. They're trying to force all of Rise to spawn at the top of the map, give them the longest run back into the hill. Less than 10 seconds to go. There's the shock. You have to go down and you have to just stay alive. You just have to stay there, decapped. Drop shot lands in the lap of Avexys. They're going to clean up this last 2 kills. And unless Icy gets 4 straight, it's going to be all she's said and done. 232. They get the magic number, and the Pioneers, they will win map number 1 and Rise. They've got to find an answer going into execution.
It's going to be one of those moments here for Rise that this is a major wake-up call. 6-0 means absolutely nothing if you don't wake up for map number 1. And the Pioneers not only woke up, but they took it to Rise in almost every stage of that game. Xysho and Hndles doing a good job of controlling that drop shot. All those players continuously staggering out the deaths. They did not give up a single point into hill number 2 in the replay. They took the majority of the points in hill number 1 in the first time. So Pioneers, they really have woken up in this one. They said, enough of our inconsistent performances. They're going to finish the season out strong.
Shooting for one another again, wolf packing around the map. Those are the things that they were very lackluster in those 2 losses that they took. It was like they were trying to play heads up. They were trying to play solo ball, and that did not work for them. Here tonight, I don't think I saw a single fight taken by the Pioneers that didn't have somebody either lancering, pistoling, or possibly nashering for another player. There were very few instances where somebody wasn't tagged up coming into a fight with a Pioneers player. And I mean, at the end of the day, if you just take a look at the way Xysho played this, the fact that Xysho was able to have as much damage as he had is a indicator definitively of why the Pioneers came away with his victory.
Yeah, kind of need to take note of, this is the Kansas City Pioneers roster that I thought I was going to see kind of start the season and really pull them through, playing together, wolf packing around. There were a couple moments in that matchup as well where Rise, they did a good job of getting the first down, but they were too separated to clean up those downs. And on the other side of that field is the Pioneers getting the revive and wolf packing through, getting the actual eliminations instead of just downs. So Rise, they need to figure out a way to begin to work a little bit more as a team here and stop these individual style plays. And they need to figure out a way to clean up those eliminations when they are down, because those are crucial eliminations that are not going their way. And not only that, but they're going in way of the Pioneers, which gives up a massive advantage, gives up a massive amount of control. And after that first 68-point lead, that go ahead and put them so far behind. They were playing desperate move after desperate move.
And desperation is a murderer in all senses of the word. And you saw, I mean, in a lot of these highlights, again, just the way that the Pioneers were able to basically assert themselves into every fight by just being in the fight, being bullies as a unit, not giving Rise any kind of momentum, any kind of breathing room. If we look at the way that execution is going to play out, that's going to be a lot of big team fights. Something else that the Pioneers have struggled with recently is their execution, is their initials. I'm not saying that Rise are the gods of this map or the gods of any execution map for that matter. I'm just curious, do you think that comes back to haunt them? Is that something that you have to be concerned with if you're the Pioneers? Or do the cleanup that they've had on map 1 really give you a good cause to kind of pause?
I just feel like at this stage in the game, not only the Pioneers, but the majority of teams here need to realize how much of a high-risk, double-edged sword the map of Checkout is. So even if you have a monster game, number 1, you have to be ready for so many things to go wrong and try to piece it together as these rounds progress. You could get first blood, and then bam, in the blink of an eye, 2 of your players will drop. So for the Pioneers, they need to stay focused on these win conditions. They need to be able to throw some different strategies, even if it is going to be a 4-man over round after round after round. It's where you position that first player, mid lane versus plat side, playing wide for sniper versus playing aggressive for the elimination. And I think the Pioneers right now have control of the game to keep those guesses coming. So for Rise, even though this isn't a full-on, in-depth strategy going through, they need to have some sort of trick up their sleeve to steal that momentum away and then begin to build it in this map. Because if they go down 2-0, I said it in that map, pick and ban screen, whoever gains momentum will win this series.
It'll be very interesting to see, especially if the Pioneers can go up 2-0 going into that escalation where Rise has, without a doubt, struggled in the past. And we could see it in their record for escalation, even in this split itself. It's been topsy-turvy, a little bit up and down for them. We'll see going into this as well. Like I think that there's a chance we'll see a couple of rounds of 4v4 over at the long shot, but there's always a chance where, of course, I believe Rushiez from time to time will play that 1v position down low with the nades. Curious who they're going to have challenge up against him. Will you send Hndles over there, who's been known to play the 1v spot on Vasgar? Is it going to be Precision? The Pioneers have changed up a couple of spots and a couple of rotations over the past few weeks. And it has given some people headaches, especially when they play certain types of maps where it's like especially execution, where they're able to kind of throw different strats out the window at a team. It's given them some fits, given them some upset stomachs. I'll be curious to see if it causes any confusion tonight or what they might have up their sleeve. But you said that Rise definitely needs to have something up their sleeve. I'm curious, What do you think round 1 Rise can do to try to quell this storm of the Pioneers?
4 players over. You need to start off with 4 players over, because then that puts the pressure on the Pioneers to either match it or whoever's going over, which typically it is Hndles, you're going to force them to make a play. And even though, yeah, that play can come out with a big frag grenade win for the Pioneers, you're forcing Hndles to come up and make that play because he can just as easily throw some bad frag grenades out into the mix and kill and take out his same teammate. So I want to see 4-0 from Rise. Maybe round number 2, you switch it up. Have a player go back going over towards those nades. As long as you keep your opponent guessing, that is at least some sort of attribute where you can stay focused. But overall, I think this is going to boil down to more rounds than not, 4 players over, all out war, smokes, flashes, and 1 player forced to come up clutch in big moments.
Well, coming into map number 2, it is going to be a 1-0 map count lead for the Pioneers. Let's see what Rise has in the answer book for them. Rushiez will be heading down to the bottom, picking up those nades. Pioneers throw all 4 players at the top side of the map. Both frags will bounce off of that platform, and a double kill for Rushiez comes through. And right now, it's a 4v2 in favor of Rise. It looks like they're going to be able to shut down this round 1 just momentarily as they clean up these final 2 kills. They get round 1. That's a great answer for them.
Yeah, just like I wanted to see 4 over, I think the same could be done in a less aggressive manner, just like they did. You go ahead and have that guy go out wide. He gets free grenades, and now Hndles the same thing. He has to go out and at least contest it. He has to at least spot Rushiez out or do something, because if he doesn't and they don't get aggressive, they don't get that first blood, that's just going to allow Rise to kind of funnel some players in and try to catch somebody getting over aggressive on a down. Yes, exactly what I said. Hndles now going out wide to match him.
See what they can do here in round number 2. Up onto the platform, Icy with the first meat shield. He gets the down. See if they can answer back, but 2 players dead for Rise now, 3v2. Avexys, though, with a big double shot there, gets that kill. Rushiez has to go for the team revive, but they clean up that last kill, and there it is, 2v1. And here comes the first beat down of the game, really.
I like that play opportunity there, but a team down. Avexys towards the back lane. That was the defining factor. It was a massive mistake that Pioneers were able to capitalize on. So back-to-back rounds here. Saw a backtrack on that nade play. Icy, that's that first blood, but Avexys, like I said, towards the back lane. He tried to make up for it in the end, but it just wasn't enough. Up in. Him and Rushiez seeming like on different plays. He takes too big of a shot. Remember, Hill's going to be at checkout, though, in case we forget later on.
Coming into this round number 3, I'm curious to see if Rushiez will go back toward those grenades, if he'll be met down there at the frags, and it is going to be a 1v1, 3v3 up top. Precision, middle lane, takes it over. He's looking for that mark. He does finally get it on the Detox. They will know exactly where he is. Good little Lancer angle there by Precision, and I like the angling by him. The route that he's taking makes him just a little bit too far away from either side to be able to get that quick up, for somebody to be able to get a quick A up off onto him. But again, the team fire from the Pioneers just too damn strong to overcome. And there it is, down after down, kill after kill. Rushiez throws both frags out, won't be able to get either kill with them. And now 3v1 bouncing around. There comes maybe another beatdown. My man just
want to know why that's so frustrating, though?
You just sit on him.
Hndles of all people doing it. To me, it's so frustrating, and I know Rushiez, because Rushiez played that 1v1 so good against Hndles, dropping him down to about 15% HP, backing him down almost into the bathroom, but his teammates lost the fight on the other side of the map. By the time that he backtracked, got those frag grenades, everybody was dead, and you kind of saw the result, unable to connect with any of those frags. So then Hndles is coming back behind him, just lancering him, giving him a hum. It's like, man, you really ran from me. You got lucky and you used your team. But at the end of the day, Rushiez, it doesn't matter how good you are individually, it's about that team W.
Round number 4 here. And it looks like Rise needs to play from behind yet again and try to get this back up into an even scenario. Precision will be lancered up heavy early into this one. We'll see Rise try to take the platform, but he's going to go down. Somebody might have to rotate over to go for a quick revive off, but again, Detox goes down. Now Avexys down. Rushiez and Icy, last 2 alive for the squadron. They are going to try their best to stay alive in this one and fight back, but the chunks come through, and Pioneers have won 3 straight rounds.
Yeah. I don't want to be that guy, Colin, I don't want to be that guy, but I just keep hearing my own words in the back of my head to kind of look at the picks and bans, seeing how aggressive these maps were all the way through all 5 maps. If you're able to gain momentum, you're going to win this series. And right now, that momentum is heavily on the side of Pioneers. And there's really nobody on the side of Rise that's just been able to consistently alleviate that pressure. They got some crosses going through. Acells is going to go down only momentarily, though. And that's going to be Precision getting that revive, immediately getting him back into the mix, and Hndles once again dropping to 16 HP. Rushiez is doing a good job of getting the damage onto Hndles, just not able to really solidify into an elimination.
Let's see what they can do here. It's all settled in. 3v3 up top, 1v1 down low. It looks like Rushiez is going to push into the side of that electronics, try to get the angle there onto Hndles. Shot over the cover. Not going to be able to get anybody just yet. Bouncing back and forth. It looks like Rushiez might be getting tagged up from the 90 degree, though. He has to be careful. And there it is. Hndles a big kill to start this round off. 4v3 situation in favor of the Pioneers. Acells will get 2v1 there in the middle checkout lane, but the downs starting to come through, starting to connect, and everybody down. Only Avexys not dead. And ladies and gentlemen, let's just take a look here. This is really good form on the side of Hndles. You saw him rear back there. I mean, really got the calf muscles activated, got the hamstring nice, ready, and primed, and then just springboarded the head right off of the shoulders there. Just beautiful execution. Really impressive things to see. Just hole after hole now. I mean, excuse me, round after round. Round after, where am I at?
This is beginning to look like that Rise when Franchise was on the team last, where things just weren't working. It's not an individual problem. They have 4 very skilled players similar to that Franchise roster. It was working together, the chemistry there, but now Rushiez, he gets first blood on a Precision. Icy immediately gets taken down as they're trying to go ahead and use their man advantage. A missed shot from Avexys almost costing him his life. Immediately turns to take out that sniper. Big damage being shot off on the Hndles, but as the dust settles, both teams getting behind their respective corners, and it's going to be all around. The advantage, though, does go to Rise. Avexys needs to figure out a way. Maybe Rushiez getting a bait onto somebody, try to get it, but Hndles with a flash. Trying to see what other utility we got going out. He actually has the only utility, so even though I think it's in the hands of Rise, with a flash grenade like that, they can easily take one side back.
Avexys will be looking to try to get another body shot to try to make a down possible on either player from the Pioneers, but Acells and Hndles, they are not giving up any kind of even easy out. This is not a 2v2 you really want to run into in any situation in this game. They are longtime veterans and possible winners of the 2v2 Astro Battle. Rushiez may have gotten flanked there by Acells because he looked over to the bottom.
Bro.
He didn't. But I don't think he saw Acells getting in his drill that quickly.
Beautiful, baby.
I'm just like, how did that just happen? He blinked. I don't even know, man. I need to see.
We'll see here. Look,
I'm looking at the right side.
He goes up onto the platform.
Okay, yeah.
Bam.
I think Rushiez just saw his demise right before his. That's like getting kicked in the face. You deserved it. You know what I mean? You have to watch the kick literally come at you.
All right, Kevin. All right, Kevin. I believe you. I know what you're saying. All right, I know. I feel you. I ain't mad at you. Here comes the flashes and the smokes into round number 7. Pioneers 2 rounds away from a 2-0 lead over the Rise boys, and it looks like Precision is just going to be walking through some of his competition there in the middle of the map. Detox goes on a flank, but 3 dashers in about 3 feet is not good for any singular human being. That's a whole lot of pellets. Let's see, 8 pellets per shot. That's 24 pellets pull per turn of the triggers. I'm going to go ahead and say it. That's going to hurt. That is not going to feel well today, tomorrow, in the morning. I don't care if you take aspirin, Tylenol, ibuprofen. It doesn't matter. You're not going to feel well after that.
Enemy spotted.
Trying to see right now, and Rushiez, I feel like Rushiez has nothing to lose right now, so he's going to press forward. Big 2 shots landing on the Hndles, grabs those frag grenades, and he's trying to go ahead and go and finish off that flank. The rest of the team, they're trying to line themselves up on towards that checkout. 2 frag grenades, one of them going to get splash damage. Xysho full red, instantly revive back up. You got to watch your faces because he will take him. Gets a body shot onto Rushiez. That's 2 downs on the back lane. He's going to clean both of those up. Precision trying to be the hero. He's going to get taken out. Rise win their 3rd round, but still a uphill battle if they look to complete this map.
If they come back from this will be pretty monumental. I just don't. Oh, what a turnabout of fair play out of Rushiez. The bait for the possible pickup on the frags into the double shot. That's just glorious. That's just beautiful, man. That's just nice to see somebody be able to kind of bait somebody out like that. This is a monumental comeback. If they even get this to 5-5, I will be utterly impressed, and I'm not even a cow. Get it? Get it?
This is being picked up. Oh, nice one to connect onto Acells. Detox getting revived in the nick of time. Avexys making a great play as well. That gives him a massive advantage on one side of the map. And this is where you're going to see Rushiez. He can go ahead and play aggressive. He's going to get pushed right now. Maybe getting over aggressive, getting taken out by Hndles as he tries to throw those instants, blocking off the frag grenades. Hndles, that wasn't even a thought for him as he tries to sneak the player out. Gets sniped, gets angled out. Rise 3 rounds in the second half already.
3 rounds in the second half of the portion of this execution map. One more round will get it tied up and take it to a round 11. Rise has had a great set of rounds as well. The team fire has been on point for them. And Hndles is looking to try to win this map, and he tried to do it single-handedly last round. It didn't work out too well for him. Coming into this round number 10, smokes and flashes will come out here momentarily. A lot of Lancer damage out. Icy pops up onto the platform, but gets the head of Detox blown completely off, and now Icy's down. Rushy will have the nades, but there's not enough there's not enough defense there. If Rushiez is not going to get challenged, he has to know that. He has to be able to call that out right there. And now it looks like we're going to get to watch 3 players. Oh, look at the money. Oh my God. Hold up. He said, don't stop dancing for me now. Don't stop dancing for me. Precision did a little juggling act. Xysho's telling him to cry about it. And he said, hey, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't care. I don't care at this point who wins and loses. Twitter tonight is going to be mwah.
It's definitely going to be a treat for all of us. But if you're a fan of the Pioneers, you've been gifted 2 quick treats, a 2-0 lead over Rise. But it ain't over just yet. Can Rise bounce back? Find after this quick commercial break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to Gears Pro League. This is your big main event matchup, and well, it looks like we almost put a kitten inside of a cage with a hungry lion, because the Pioneers have come out firing on all cylinders, and they're up 2-0 in this matchup. Going into the escalation, which has been Rise's biggest struggle thus far this split.
And honestly, Colin, I thought my ridiculous antics to bring out the ice was going to help Icy, but I think I took all his powers this time. I might have to put the drip away for a map and see if it helps out Rise, because right now it just seems like lackluster performance. It seems like very, very individual play. Even in the rounds that they're winning just like this, it comes off on the back of one individual. This is not the same team that we've seen throughout the course of their 6-0 run. In fact, it just seems like it's 4 individuals that woke up to play Gears just because they had nothing else to do today.
I'm not gonna lie to you, brother. There's a part of me that's like, there's like the evil genius part of me that's like, man, did I jinx Rise by picking them, and therefore I get to see the team of guys that, you know, appreciate kind words from me win? Did I just jinx myself into that victory? Because again, I'm happy either way. Look, I'm either gonna get a correct prediction or my dudes are gonna take this. It's one or the other. I'm sitting pretty, baby. I'm on the throne right now, Jacob. You can't, undefeated in this camp.
And even though I'm trying to give hope to Rise, you know what I mean? 300 to 184 Pioneers, 6-4 once again. Pioneers 2-0, and I said it though. I said that whoever gains momentum is going to take the series. All the momentum is in the favor of Pioneers. Another aggressive map on Vasgar. No team performance, no team moments really coming out of Rise. Honestly, it doesn't matter how many channel points weighed it in favor of Rise. I think we all might be wrong today. Vasgar Escalation, with the way the Pioneers have been playing, I'm scared. I'll say it. I am scared. I'm gonna have to hide the ice so no one steals it.
Are you as scared as good as that ice looks? See, that's a reference I'm old enough to know, though. I remember when that was referred to strictly as being icy. I just remember that. Like, I want you to drip. I don't have any idea. Trip, I got nothing.
You know what this is?
Throw another one at me. Throw another 2021 reference
the
at
way
me.
he needs to play, I was like, Rise can definitely give him a chain, but Rise like, not after this. We ain't giving him nothing. We giving him a playbook and telling him to study.
we're giving him the ability.
Somebody break out the Fatal Strike playbook.
My man's PR looking to help somebody get a coaching job here in Pro League. And I just look, it could happen. You never know. It's going back into Escalation. Last time Fatal Strike was a coach, he was the coach of the championship reciprocity team. They won back-to-back lands, you know? Here we come off of the spawn, though, and it looks like already Rise is going for a 2-to-1 hill, his 2-to-1 hill split, but that's going to be answered back quickly because the Pioneers have overwhelmed the home hill of Rise.
Avexys really should have scanned that corner. He would have saw Xysho coming. But 2 hills to 1, man. This does not go unnoticed how quick they're doing it in this matchup. This isn't just rounds 1-to-1. This isn't score 100-100 and then breaking through. This has started and they immediately brute force their way to 2 hills. Now it's up to Rise here to find something as 2 players are working together, but they're a little separated and Pioneers know it. That's why they're going to back up, try to pepper out these players, use their lance and their cross just a little bit more, flash grenades to try to gain some sort of a footing. He almost flashed himself there as Rise continue to push up, but Avexys falls. Icy gets taken out. That's going to be a big double kill from Hndles, but Icy takes out Precision. Acells takes out Detox. Can he go back to back? Triple cap domination, and he doesn't. He takes out Icy. He embarrasses him to the Shadow Realm. The Pioneers do it again.
Already 1 round up. They got 4 rounds to go for them to get a 3-0 victory. Let's take a look at this replay here. And Jacob, you gave it the perfect play call. Break it down for us, baby.
I mean, just look at this. He just stuffs that first player. There's no reason with that first shot that Icy put, big or small, that if Detox goes for the 1-shot chunk. They literally just served him that round up in a silver platter with some sprinkles, maybe something else. I don't know.
What do you get on your dessert?
Here we go again.
I like sprinkles, maybe some chocolate sauce, maybe some strawberry. If I'm hankering for a good strawberry shake, I got myself a Ninja blender. Oh, I made the best milkshake the other day.
Are you creamy or are you a thick milkshake?
I like a good mixture of both. Maybe a little bit more towards the creamy, but like
I'm a thick man myself. Reese's first.
Flash grenade.
I love Cassie.
Did I do that? Did I do that reference right? Did I do that reference right?
I don't know, but
I'm chalking up,
Rise
baby.
is finally doing something right here. They're getting the elimination. No, Vexy's going by himself. He gets popped over the top, and Icy just gets blindsided. Every single thing Rise is trying is getting stopped before the goal line, and now Rushiez by himself. Another triple cap domination underway. Detox gets 1. That can buy some time, but how much is under the question as the Avexys is now trying to do the same thing. He gets topped off. Icy gets 1, but he doesn't even touch the hill. 2 in a row for the Pioneers. 2 straight maps as well. This is looking like this is in the books.
Now you see, oh my God, wait a minute. Xysho with a kill, no deaths, 4 assists. Almost a 2K damage, but on the bottom side, Rushiez and Avexys being held under the thumb of the Pioneers right now. No kills and 7 deaths across the 2 of them.
It shouldn't take too long.
I don't even know what to say about Rise's performance today as a whole. I think this is the Pioneers playing out of their minds, mixed with a little bit of Rise just honestly not showing up here today. I need to figure out who this imposter is. Let's play a game here of Scooby-Doo and try to figure out who is hiding underneath this mask of Rise as Detox gets that first blood onto Precision, but they lose their hill. So even though they got first blood, they get the neutral hill, they're still not going to get the lead.
Now we see Acells. He's going to be trying to guard against player number 5. It's going to be Detox here in a 1v1 over his home hill. They have left Acells in that position because he's a very strong 1v1 player, and they're actually going to rotate somebody back over here to try to play a little bit of defense. They're going to give up the 2-to-1 hill advantage to the side of Rise momentarily. Try to pick up another kill, ensure that they get that meat shield and continue to hold on to their home hill. They're going to pressure toward the C hill. Avexys will have the retro in his hand. A lot of damage being pressured out. He's going to get the down onto Precision. Precision now won't have any help. Looks like Xysho's actually going to rotate back to help him. They get it down onto Avexys, but the revives will be coming through momentarily. But 3 Nashers roll up into the situation. Avexys with the hop. He's going to drop, and now he's going to try to go for a second. Precision needs 1 big shot to try to win this. Won't be able to get it. 2 snubs, 3 snubs. Pistol whip to hell. Detox showed him what the butt of the snub is worth, baby. That was just putting leather to skull.
Finally going to be able to break through and get that hill back. I think this might be one of the first times they're breaking and getting the home hill of the Pioneers, or at least getting it decapped as they're trying to hold on towards this lead. 3 players know this is the case. Detox by himself. He just needs to buy time. He should get eliminated here if the Pioneers play their cards right, but it has to be at a sacrifice for that lower neutral hill. Multiple eliminations are going to take the Pioneers out of it. So even though, yes, they did lose that player in Detox towards the top half of the map, they get a hill from it. They should lose their home hill as well, but only for a matter of time. So off of respawn, Rise has to act fast.
See what Precision can do. There's going to be a couple of different options here as he's holding onto that flash. He's going to try to get the stun to allow his teammates to get into a position to play defense as those players from Rise come back into this hill. Double shot gets that chunk there onto Detox. Precision's going to hop the cover and go down. Xysho and Acells rotate up very quickly, going for the team revives. 3 players in now. 2 players will walk out for the side of the Pioneers, and that will give them a chance to come back into this. It's going to be Hndles versus, I believe, Rushiez in a 1v1. Hndles will take care of business there and push toward the B hill. They left Acells by himself, but I mean, I don't know if that's going to matter much. He's been so good for so long tonight. Trading hills back and forth. B hill will be under control of Pioneers. They're up over 200 points. 20 seconds to go. It's going to be a long sprint over to either one of these hills. 4 members of either Rise or the Pioneers here, and I think they're going to have a chance to get to B quicker than A. It'll be tough sledding, though, as they have to go against the Lancer Fire and the defensive setup on both situations. They will get the decap on B, but with 8 seconds to go, they just got to stop Rise from getting into the A hill now. Looks like Detox tried to go for a desperation push. They shut him down. That's going to be it. 3 rounds in a row. Pioneers 2 rounds away from a 3-0 victory over the side of Rise.
It seems like I almost feel like there's an extra man. I would be swearing by everything that I have, if I was a player Rise, that they have an extra man, that I'm playing 5v4. But obviously you guys can see that's not the case. They're just using their numbers that much better. They're going ahead. They're taking 2 different 1v2s on one side of the map, even when they're stuffed on the other. You saw Detox was trying to buy some time. He was trying to do that. He did buy some time, but his teammates weren't victorious on the other side of the map. So Rise need to figure out something, or their first loss will be intact in just a few short rounds. The Pioneers are already up 2 maps to none, as well as finally a 3v3 clash. Looking like it might come through, maybe possibly 4, as another player is going to rotate over from Rise. Precision has to have made that call out, Colin, because that is a free uncontested hill.
Yeah, and they know that all 4 players are there. They know that they can try to press toward A, try to get the Mr. Krabs to go through. Any kills here are big kills, but one after the next. Pioneers are starting to fall. Precision will get the decap there and will press back forward with the Boltok, trying to get shots onto Avexys. He hits 2 of them, which will slow Avexys re-advance into himself. Down just a minute. Detox will have a free run over to B. Pioneers are coming back off a spawn. Precision's been downed up on his ledge. There is no help coming for him momentarily, and Rise will once again have a 2-1 hill advantage, and they'll be able to creep back into this one slowly but surely.
I do believe in their head-to-head matchup this season, it might be 3-3 in terms of escalations for Rise, and almost 6-0 for the Pioneers. If you know, correct me if I'm wrong, for anybody seeing those stats out there. So this is something. Rise not only have to beat the team on a map and game mode that they haven't lost so far, as they sneak away that round and get one before the half, or the Pioneers will continue their undefeated escalation streak. And the way it's looking right now, man, they are just strong. Rushiez and Avexys, both 1-6, 1-7 respectively. And those are 2 big slayers for the squad that need to be performing if Rise is going to find any success.
Well, Rise, with that first round under their belt, has kind of, they haven't shifted the momentum, but they have definitely slowed it down just a little bit. And we'll see if they can continue this same kind of momentum, if they can come into this next round. They tried a couple of trick strats, in my opinion, by overloading one side twice, and that's the first time it kind of came into fruition. The 4-man push at the home hill of Pioneers comes away with a first-round victory for them. 3-1. We go into the second half now. Mid-neutral hill will swap over to the helicopter, and I think they're going to get the call out. Hndles is going to say, hey, guys, you're all by yourself. It's a 4v3 over there. You got to be careful in just a moment because you might get called out. And I like the fact that they've decided to wolf pack here is Rise. They're going to try to get into the hill and try to capture those players from the side of the Pioneers back behind that tank and slowly pick them off one after the next. But Pioneers find one. Pioneers find two. Pioneers find three. Acells is a man on a mission. Triple cap domination will tick through, and he hit him with a little bit of that kung fu. He said, bring it on, boys. I'm going to be standing in your hill all night long. 1 round away from a sweep of Rise.
I was literally just kicking them while they're down. Literally just kicking them while they're down. That was a 3v4, and Acells just embarrassing multiple players. And it goes to show 12, 6, and 6. This man puts on a clinic. He plays the 1v positions out wide by himself. He is able to play the bait and switch, and he's just a huge clutch factor. I don't think right now that there's anything Rise can do to come back into the series, but honestly, that's why we play it out. Right now, they're going to have some heroic effort. They're going to need some miracles sprinkled left and right, and some big plays coming out of Detox, but he immediately gets shut down. First blood yet again to the Pioneers, and it looks like they're going to trap him between 2 different shocks. All they can hope for is some chain revives to come through, and possibly some pressure onto Avexys as he gets attacked from multiple angles. Everybody from Rise will fall. Revives will be had on the side of Pioneers, and another great initial start when they're already on map and series point.
Now 2-1 hill advantage. They got the home hill to home hill spread. Rise will be coming off of respawn here momentarily, and they're going to be able to mount up any kind of offensive push they want to. I like that they're going to put Rushiez in the middle of the map, trying to retro over the top of that ledge, trying to find an angle where he can just tap damage different players from the Pioneers. He gets marked up, and he has to rotate back a little bit just in case he starts to get lancered out from any position. It looks like they're going to try to send him on a full flank. He's going to get called out here. He's going to get double shot and downed. It looks like Detox is trying to go onto the flank, but he's just too late to save Rushiez in that position. Hndles gets a down there, gets the killing blow, and now Icy tries to up A, but he's going to get taken out as well. 3 down and dead, 1 player left alive. It's going to be Detox. He's going to be beating Hndles at the E-Hill. Hndles will see the flash. He's going to try to get in front of it. He's going to be stunned up, and now Hndles, big shot there with a hip fire. Triple cap domination being threatened. 2 players left alive for the side of Rise. Acells holding the right hand, holding the angle, getting the downs. The cleanups will be here momentarily. Flash out. Icy last alive. Icy last hope, but he melts away, and Acells one more time. Love tap in from Precision. 5-1. Statement made. Sweep secured. Pioneers, they take out the undefeated players of Rise. And Acells said, you didn't want none of this tonight, boy. You should have come better prepared. You should have maybe scrimmed once in a blue moon, and you wouldn't have been 1-9 or 1-11, because Acells, he took advantage of them the whole time.
Man, 2-20, Colin. 2-20, a combined kills and deaths for Rushiez and Avexys. I hate that excuse, Colin. Oh, we didn't scrim in 6 weeks. Oh, we didn't this and that and the other. Well, guess what? You also took one of the biggest beatdowns we've seen this season. This split so far, that was a massive beatdown. Honestly, it's something that surprised me. I picked the Rise team to take this series with how impressive they have been. But honestly, that's just been a lot of these Gears players, man. We've said that looked like the Pioneers were slowing down. I don't know why you would put in such amount of work. I don't know why you would put your blood, sweat, and tears into this game to not scrim and lose the matches at the end, possibly giving up first place. This is thousands of dollars on the line, Colin. I just do not understand it, and I never will.
Don't look at me for answers. You know how passionate I am about this game and this series. You knew if I had half of the talent any of these guys had, I'd probably never turn the freaking thing off because I'd feel like $1 million every single day. So it doesn't, I don't understand it as much, if not more, than the next person. I do love the fact that we're seeing a better version of the Pioneers. I said, and I alluded to in my video with Taylor, the piece you saw just before this matchup during the commercial break, I think their success bred a little bit of bad tendencies out of them. They were winning so many fights. They were so aggressive that they started to play kind of that hero ball. that they started to find themselves in bad situations. And I am very excited and very happy and very proud of these guys to correct those mistakes against the team that is undefeated before tonight. They came into this 6-0, and you saw where all of Pioneers, they played together as a singular unit. At the end of the day, Gears was, is, and always will be about the better team winning. And I know a lot of people are going to say, no, that's not true because so-and-so, won this. And even our very own Ryan Fools will say, well, Envy probably had the better teamwork, but they only won one time against Optic in Gears 4. Ghost Gaming, one event in Vegas. They only won one time, but they were the best team that event. They played who was in front of them. They played like a team. You were front row and center for that team's run. You know better than anybody that they probably should have and did win that event because they deserved it and were so damn good. I'm so happy to see that the Pioneers have realized their potential, have realized what they can do when they work together as a singular unit, and what they're able to do to people and players when they don't take it seriously against them and when they give it 150%.
To start it, we were talking about players kind of going hunting, Colin. Is it rabbit season? Is it duck season? Well, the Pioneers said it was Rise season, and they hunted them down. That, to me, and I don't want to too harp on it too much because I don't even know if I said it to you during the commercial break. I don't know if I blurted it out during that matchup. You have to 100% give the Pioneers all the credit in the world. They deserve that win. They imposed their will onto Rise and any fans of Rise out there. But I will say it as the analyst, as someone who can expertly break down these games, that was not a Rise that we've seen at 110%. Yeah, it could come down to lack of scrims. Yeah, it could come down to this, that, and the other. But now the pressure is on Rise to come back to scrim and show that I am right, to show that that was a fluke, and to show that you guys will not end the season like that, because there is still thousands upon thousands of dollars that they can miss out on if they go to sleep the rest of the season.
Without a doubt, I completely agree with everything you just said. I really believe that you have a great mindset for this game, and you say it not just from an analytical standpoint and a caster standpoint. If you don't know, now you know. Jacob's been one of the best players we've ever had. He's been one of the best coaches we've ever had, one of the best GMs we've ever had, one of the best analysts we've ever had. He's done it all in this game. There's not a damn thing you can throw at him that he's not already seen, done, accomplished, or made better than anybody else around him. He has made an aura around himself because he's been great, and he's been great off the back of his passion. That's why Jacob continues to succeed then, now, and he will for the rest of his life. But that's going to be it for the games today. We had a couple of close ones. We had one blowout to end the night. Let's take a look at our results from today's games on both stations. There you go, ending the night with a 3-0, just like we started. But right there in the middle of the map, we got to see both of those map 5s. We got to see both of those 3-2s. Those had to be the games that were just without a doubt much obliged to those teams for putting on such a show.
Yeah, honestly, you got to give it up to Hive. Not even Hive, just give it up to Ness and Lava. 26 kills combined in a game number 5. And I saw him post the stats of Kyrie Irving and LeBron James during one of their games, about 41 points each, scoring 81. That was literally them. That was LeBron and Kyrie. I don't care what type of duos are out there right now. If they can find it, if Yachty and Thing 2 can just step it up towards the end of the season, they're definitely not going to get first, Colin, but they can definitely get a bit of extra cheddar in their pocket.
Yeah, without a doubt. And again, I was really happy with Hive getting that victory for Cells and Lava, the way that they came through. I mean, I think it was 26 kills we said at the end of that execution map. That was big for that squad. Noble, I don't want to say they lucked out because they had to get themselves into a final round position, but then, I mean, that team kill from the side of the Pittsburgh Knights, that might haunt them for a while, but they really were gamey the entire time. And you said the Knights have to still kind of figure out some things. They've still got to solidify that identity going forward, going into the majors. We come into our last few games of this Pro League. Things are going to get a little bit more interesting because with these results, with E United and Pioneers being on the rise, all pun intended, being a little bit hotter in the past few weeks, they're going to be contesting for those top spots. Those are going to be some interesting matchups going into these final weeks because it's not guaranteed. None of these positions in your standings that we saw to start the day are going to be guaranteed going into these final few games, these final few weeks, these final few matchups, because things could get very interesting. I think I said it last night, and I know coming into tonight, it's the same story. I think positions 2 through 8 or 2 through 8 were one game apart. The teams at the very bottom were 0-6, 0-7 or something, or 0-5, and then Rise was, of course, 6-0. But right there in the middle, everybody else was literally one game differential. Granted, we don't know I don't remember the head-to-heads off the top. I don't remember, map win percentages off the top. But when you're that close to the middle of your bracket, it ain't over until it's over, baby.
Yep. Like I said, keep saying thousands of dollars up for grab in the final weeks. These matches mean so much for teams at the top of the bracket. For Rise, that's a devastating loss because that makes it to where, yeah, for now, your destiny still might be under your control. But if you take another loss and another loss, you're just asking for these teams to pass you. So for any of these teams really looking to kind of step it up, I like what Oxygen has been doing lately. I like Noble stepping it up. You got to give it to Pioneers, showing that these last few inconsistent weeks could be behind them. I say could because they can come out tomorrow. They can come out next week and have flat performances.
Without a doubt, we'll get to see who's going to continue to stay on top of their game and who might falter coming into these next few weeks. Again, we'll get to see and look over these standings tonight. And I said it was one game differential to start the night between 2 through 8. But now you look at it, 6-1, 6-1, 5-2 for 3 spots, and then 3-4. We got a 2-game differential there after number 5 out of that 5 position. But I mean, right there, 1-5 now, 1 game differential between Rise and E United. Rise sitting in first, E United sitting in 5th. That is a tall task to overcome, but things are going to get very dicey in the next few weeks.
I actually love each and every one of those 5 teams towards the top. You talk about them being 1 game away. Honestly, each one of those have shown, and I think they've made a case up until this point, that they could take a major championship at a moment's notice. And those bottom teams, Oxygen, Elevate, specifically Elevate, I feel bad for. They started really good. Pittsburgh Knights and Elevate have a 3-loss streak. But over and all, Fire and Ice, the winless wonders. It makes me think, man, they sneak away from win, making Pittsburgh Knights' life even worse. But overall, I just feel bad for them. But I said that towards the beginning of this entirety of the Pro League. This is a learning lesson for a team like Fire and Ice. These are, rookie-style players that haven't had the spotlight too much. So as long as they can bounce back, re-earn their spot into this Pro League, I think we're going to see them progress time and time again. So it's just really going to get interesting as this one does continue to progress towards the later portions of I want to say the split, but even the season. It seems, well, you might have chances to make some roster changes. But let's go ahead and look at tomorrow, or look at the schedule for today. November 16th. This is actually next week's schedule. We got Rise versus Hive, Noble versus Elevate, Rebel versus E United. That is a match to watch out for. Talking about the top 5 teams. Pioneers versus Oxygen, and then the Pittsburgh Knights versus Fire and Ice. This is one of those moments for some teams that might have suffered some losses today, that might not be having the best week to end this one out towards the weekend, to kind of have a little bit easier show match. And I say that very, very loosely because that Rebel versus E United, Noble versus Elevate, all of them could be a doozy, but man, I know a lot of people at home, this is the moment a lot of you have been waiting for. Those final moments of practice, the final moments leading up towards the end of the season, to where these teams are going to be putting it all on the line.
I can tell you what, Jacob, taking a look at this schedule, I'm very excited for that next Tuesday matchup with the Pioneers and Oxygen. There's no way you can't have that marked down, as well as Rebel and E United. Those are both going to be banger matchups coming up next Tuesday. Before we get out of here, I just want to ask you your final thoughts, Jacob. What did you think about today?
I loved it, man. I'm seeing the kind of a mix of what I want. These close matches between teams are going the distance, and it shows that they are progressing. But we're also seeing these elite teams, the Pioneers, the E Uniteds, really knocking it out of the park, taking it to their opposition, and convincingly proving that they are some of the best in Gears Esports. I want to see that continue the trend even into tomorrow on E-Days. I want to see these teams not take that or look at it as a match that might not necessarily matter, but crucial tournament style practice that can lead to some success down the line.
Well, I echo everything that you just said and more. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us again here on a Wednesday night for Gears Esports Pro League. We had some fantastic games. I hope you all enjoyed it half as much as I did. But don't forget, tomorrow night, Thursday night, over on twitch.tv/UMG Gaming, we have E-Days yet again. Different style, different format, bigger chunk of change on the line because the tournament format has been added in with points to see who will come out as season victors for E-Days. Make sure you're there at 5 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow for E-Days. Don't forget, be there, be square. That's going to be Jacob MVPR. I'm going to be Colin the Crow Clark. We're going to hopefully see you tomorrow. And if we don't, make sure your butt is right back here for Pro League on Tuesday.